Dear children, a warm welcome to this channel. In this video, we are going to see the exercise problems 4.2. Before going to the exercise problems, let us recall the definition of inverse cosine and the properties, okay, so that you can do the problems in an easy way. That means you can easily understand the problems in the exercise. Now, inverse of cosine function is defined only if the cos function has a domain 0 to pi instead of the entire domain R. If the domain is restricted to the closed interval 0 to pi, then only we can define the inverse cosine function. Okay. So, if the cos function is from 0 to pi to closed interval minus 1 comma 1, then inverse of the cosine function is defined as cos inverse from the closed interval minus 1 comma 1 to the closed interval 0 comma pi given by cos inverse of x is equal to y if and only if cos y is equal to x, where this x belongs to this closed interval minus 1 comma 1 and y belongs to the range the closed interval 0 comma pi. Okay, so this is the definition. Remember, this is possible only if the domain of cos function is 0 to pi, and other functions or other domains are also possible, that is pi to 2 pi, 2 pi to 3 pi. Among this interval, closed interval 0 to pi is called the principal domain. Okay. And also you have to remember the formula cos inverse of cos x is equal to x if x belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi, and cos of cos inverse of x is equal to x if x belongs to the closed interval minus 1 comma 1. Okay, so remember this to do the problems. Now let us start with the exercise 4.2, the first problem. Find all values of x such that minus 6 pi less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6 pi and cos x is equal to 0. And second subdivision is minus 5 pi less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5 pi and cos x is equal to 1. Okay. Now, for the first problem, cos x is equal to 0. Cos x is equal to 0 and x belongs to the interval, closed interval, minus 6 pi to 6 pi. So, you are going to find out the values of x such that its cosine value is 0 and also it should lie in between minus 6 pi to 6 pi. Okay. So first let us find out what would be the values of x whose cos value will be 0. So cos x is equal to 0 for the values of plus or minus pi by 2, plus or minus 3 pi by 2, plus or minus 5 pi by 2. You know that cos value will be 0 for these angles, right? So how can you represent these angles? These are all odd numbers. So we can represent it by 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 where n belongs to z. By substituting n as 0, you have pi by 2. When substituting n is equal to minus 1, we will have minus pi by 2. Likewise, all the angles are represented by the general form 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. But the domain is restricted here. You have to choose the value of x such that it belongs to the closed interval minus 6 pi to 6 pi. So among these values, you have to write down which satisfies this condition, which belongs to this closed interval. Okay. Now look at this. This first one represents first rotation and second one represents second circle represents second rotation and here third rotation. So in this first rotation 0, pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Okay. When it comes it will be 2 pi. And here for the after second rotation it will reach us here at 4 pi. The angle will be 4 pi here. And for the third rotation the angle will be 6 pi. So you have to choose the angle such that only in these 3 rotations, right? So for the if angle measured in the positive direction, that is in the anti-clockwise direction, means if the rotation is in the anti-clockwise direction, then for cos value to be 0, x is equal to pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2 in the first rotation. And for the second rotation it will be 3 pi by 2, here 5 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 2 for the second rotation. And for the third rotation it will be 9 pi by 2 and this is 11 pi by 2. So these are the possible values within 6 pi. Okay. So when the angle is measured in the negative direction, that is if the rotation is clockwise, then minus pi by 2 and minus 3 pi by 2 for first rotation and minus 5 pi by 2 and minus 7 pi by 2 for the second rotation and minus 9 pi by 2 and minus 11 pi by 2 for the third rotation. Okay. So these angles would belongs to the given domain minus 6 pi to 6 pi. So x is equal to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, and what would be the values of n to get these values alone means n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 up to plus or minus 5, because when n is equal to 0, what happened here? It is pi by 2. When n is equal to 1, it is 3 pi by 2, right? When n is equal to 2, it will be 5 pi by 2. When n is 3, it is 7. When n is 4, it is 9. And when n it is 5, it is 11. Okay, that's all. And then similarly, when n is equal to minus 1, it is minus pi by 2. And when n is equal to minus 2, it is minus 3 pi by 2, and so on. So we got this minus 11 pi by 2 when n is equal to minus 5. So what would be the value of n here? 0 to plus or minus 5. Okay, so let us conclude the problem then. So for the given domain minus 6 pi to 6 pi, x is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2, where n takes the value 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 plus or minus 3 plus or minus 4 plus or minus 5. Do you understand this? Then coming to the second one, given that cos x is equal to 1 and x belongs to the closed interval minus 5 pi to 5 pi. So you have to find out the value of x whose cosine value is 1, and that value of x should lies between this closed interval, right? So let us find out for what values of x. First of all, cosine value is 1. Cos x is equal to 1 means x is equal to 0 and plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 4 pi plus or minus 6 pi, etc. So for these angles only, cosine value will be 1. You know that cos 0 is 1, cos 2 pi is 1, cos 4 pi is 1. Similarly, in the clockwise direction, cos of minus 2 pi, cos of minus 4 pi. Like so that cos x is equal to 1 means x is equal to 0 plus or minus 2 pi plus or minus 4 pi, etc. So among this, it is clear that 0 plus or minus 2 pi and plus or minus 4 pi lies between these interval. That is, it in general, we can represent this as 2n because all these are even numbers. So it is equal to 2n pi where n belongs to z. But for the given domain, these three values alone belongs to this interval. That is, x is equal to 2n pi where n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. Okay. But in your book, the answer for the second question is given in some other, like 2n plus 1 into pi by 2 it seems. Okay. So if for that answer, the question must be cos x is equal to minus 1. So for your book back answer, the question must be equal to cos x is equal to minus 1. So if you take the answer question as cos x is equal to 1, this would be the answer. Okay. Now second one, state the reason for cos inverse of cos of minus pi by 6 is not equal to minus pi by 6. You know that if the angle lies in the principal domain, then only cos inverse of cos x is equal to x. But minus pi by 6 does not lies in the restricted domain 0 to pi, and therefore cos inverse of cos of minus pi by 6 would not be equal. Let us explain this. Okay. So cos inverse of cos x is equal to x only if x belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi. Okay. So here minus pi by 6 does not belong to the closed interval 0 to pi. Therefore you have to rewrite this an angle so that its cosine value will be another angle such that it lies in the given restricted domain and the cosine values are equal, right? You know that cos of minus pi by 6 is equal to cos pi by 6. So replacing cos of minus pi by 6 as cos pi by 6, you can use the formula cos inverse of cos x is equal to x, because x belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi. Therefore cos inverse of cos pi by 6 is equal to pi by 6, and hence cos inverse of cos of minus pi by 6 is not equal to minus pi by 6. Okay. Then third one, if cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse of x is true, justify your answer. This is true? If it is true means justify your answer. Now I can say that cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse of x is true. So if I said it is true means I have to prove it. Okay. So let us prove this whether it is true or not. Okay. So let us take cos inverse of minus x is equal to y. By definition it will be by moving this, you have minus x is equal to cos y. Okay. Moving this minus to this side, minus cos y is equal to x. Now I am going to replace minus cos y as cos of pi minus y because they are equal. So replacing minus cos y by cos of pi minus y, cos of pi minus y is equal to x. Now again applying the formula, pi minus y is equal to cos inverse of x. Now replace y. What is y? Y is equal to cos inverse of minus x. So pi minus of cos inverse of minus x is equal to cos inverse of x. If you interchange these two, we have pi minus of cos inverse of x is equal to cos inverse of minus x. That means that given hypothesis is true, that is cos inverse of minus x is equal to pi minus cos inverse of x is true. So we obtained that result. Therefore the given one is true. Fourth one, find the principal value of cos inverse of 1 by 2. So you have to find out the angle which lies in the quadrant, first quadrant or second quadrant, that is in the restricted domain 0 to pi, whose cos value is 1 by 2. As it is a positive quantity, clearly the angle in the first quadrant will have cos value as 1 by 2. So that would be the principal value. Okay. So let us take this one to be y, so that by definition cos y is equal to 1 by 2. You know that cos 60 is 1 by 2. And therefore y is equal to, that means you have to express it in radians. So y is equal to pi by 3, and pi by 3 belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi. So as it lies in the first quadrant, it would be the principal value, and therefore the principal value is equal to pi by 3. Then fifth one, find the value of 2 cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of 1 by 2. Second subdivision is cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of minus 1. And third one is cos inverse of cos pi by 7, cos pi by 17 minus sin pi by 7 into sin pi by 70. So even also you can try these problems without referring my video. Okay. So try this. Otherwise, if you didn't get the answer, means you can look at my video and you can check whether your answer is right. Now I am going to do the first subdivision. 2 cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of 1 by 2. So first let us find out this angle, and then the second one, the angle for the second term, and you sum up to get the value of the given expression. Okay. So cos inverse of 1 by 2, we have to find out this value first. So let it be some y. So by definition you will have cos y is equal to 1 by 2. As 1 by 2 is a positive quantity, you have to find out the angle in the first quadrant whose cos value is 1 by 2. Clearly you know that it is cos 60 is 1 by 2, that is y is equal to pi by 3. Okay, pi by 3 belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi. You can take y as pi by 3. Similarly, let us take the sin inverse of 1 by 2 to be some z. So by definition sin z is equal to 1 by 2. As it is again a positive quantity, you can choose for sin, you have to choose the angle in the first as well as the fourth quadrant, because the principal domain for the sin function is inverse function is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And you know that sin 30 is 1 by 2, that is pi by 6, it will be 1 by 2, and pi by 6 clearly belongs to this required domain, and therefore z is equal to pi by 6. Now substituting the values in the given expression, we have 2 into pi by 3 plus pi by 6, that is, on simply taking LCM 6, you have to multiply 1 to 2 2s are 4 pi plus 5 pi by 6. So the required answer for this question is 5 pi by 6. Okay. Then similarly, cos inverse of 1 by 2 plus sin inverse of minus 1. Let us find out the corresponding angle for this first term. So take this first term to be some y. By definition, it will be cos y is equal to 1 by 2. So find out the value of y whose cos value is 1 by 2. As it is positive, the angle would be in the first quadrant. So clearly it is pi by 3. As pi by 3 belongs to 0 to pi, it is clear. So y is equal to pi by 3. And similarly for the second term, let us take the second term to be some z. So by definition sin z is equal to minus 1. But for the principal domain for sin inverse is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. That means you have to choose the angle in the first quadrant as well as the fourth quadrant. Positive value means you can take the angle, the corresponding angle for this value in the first quadrant. If it is negative means you have to find out the angle for the corresponding value in the fourth quadrant. Now as it is minus 1, you know that sin of minus 90 is minus 1. So you have to take z as minus pi by 2. And also you can, that is minus pi by 2 belongs to this closed interval, z is to take the value minus pi by 2. So instead of writing 3 pi by 2, you have to write it as minus pi by 2, because sin 3 pi by 2 is also minus 1 and sin minus pi by 2 is also minus 1. But you have to choose the angle such that it lies in this closed interval. Therefore, instead of 3 pi by 2, we have taken z as minus pi by 2. Okay. Now substituting the corresponding values of y and z, we have pi by 3 minus pi by 2, that is by taking LCM, we will get the value as minus pi by 6. Then third subdivision is cos inverse of cos pi by 7, cos pi by 17 minus sin pi by 7, sin pi by 17. So this is not a single term. So here the product of two cos and value and product of two sin values. By looking at that, you can see that it is of the form cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So you can simplify this as cos of A plus B, that is cos of pi by 7 plus pi by 17. So summing up this, it will be equal to cos 24 pi by 119. This 24 pi by 119 belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi, that is it lies in the first quadrant. Look at this, if pi is 180 degree, so on substituting pi as 180 degree, if you divide this 180 by 119, it will be 1 point something, After multiplying 24 into 1 point, it will be 24 point something like that. So it will be lies in the first quadrant. So clearly it belongs to the closed interval 0 to pi, the required principal domain. Therefore, cos inverse of cos x is equal to x, that is 24 pi by 119. Then sixth one, find the domain of, the first subdivision is f of x is equal to sin inverse of mod x minus 2 divided by 3 plus cos inverse of 1 minus mod x divided by 4. Second subdivision is g of x is equal to sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x. Okay. So if you take the first problem, f of x, you have to find out the domain for the first term as well as for the second term, and you have to combine these two in order to get the domain of the given function f of x. Okay. So if you take the first term, it is sin inverse. So you know that the domain of sin inverse function is nothing but minus 1 to plus 1, closed interval minus 1 to 1. So this one, modulus of x minus 2 by 3 should lies between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay. Now multiplying throughout by 3 in order to get rid of this denominator, you will have minus 3 less than or equal to mod x minus 2 less than or equal to 3. Again adding 2 throughout in order to remove this minus 2, you will have minus 3 plus 2 as minus 1 less than or equal to modulus of x less than or equal to 3 plus 2 as 5. Okay, let it be equation number 1, that is, let us consider this inequality to be 1. Now coming to the second term, cos inverse of 1 minus x by 4, let us find modulus of x by 4, let us find what would be the domain of this function. You know that the domain of cos inverse function is also the closed interval minus 1 comma 1, and hence this 1 minus modulus of x by 4 also lies between minus 1 and plus 1, right? Again, in order to remove this denominator, let us multiply throughout by 4, so that we have minus 4 is less than or equal to 1 minus mod x is less than or equal to 4. Okay. Now let us remove this 1. So subtract throughout 1. So minus 4 minus 1 would be minus 5 less than or equal to modulus minus modulus of x less than or equal to 3. But it should be plus. So in order to remove this minus, you have to multiply throughout by minus. When you multiply minus throughout in an inequality, the inequality will get reversed, right? That is the property of inequalities. So on multiplying throughout by minus, it will become 5, but inequality get reversed, so it will become greater than or equal to, and minus modulus of x will become modulus of x is greater than or equal to, plus 3 will become minus 3. So that is, this is minus 3 less than or equal to mod x less than or equal to 5. Okay. So let us represent this by second inequality to be set to number equation number 2. Now combining this 1 and 2, see here, minus 1 less than or equal to modulus of x less than or equal to 5, and minus 3 less than or equal to modulus of x less than or equal to 5. So whatever the lower limit be, the upper limit is 5 for both. So combining these two, you can write down the resultant as modulus of x should be less than or equal to 5. Then what does this mean? That means x lies between minus 5 to plus 5. So what would be the domain of x? The domain of x lies should be x lies between minus 5 and plus 5. That means the domain of the given function f of x is the closed interval minus 5 to plus 5. Second subdivision is very simple, as g of x is a summation of sin inverse of function and a cos inverse. You know that domain of sin inverse is nothing but a closed interval minus 1 and 1. Domain of cos inverse is also minus 1 to plus 1. Therefore, as these are the sum, g of x is nothing but sum of these two, the domain of g of x is nothing but the closed interval minus 1 comma 1. Now let us see the seventh one. For what value of x the inequality pi by 2 less than cos inverse of 3x minus 1 less than pi holds. So given pi by 2 less than cos inverse of 3x minus 1 less than pi, you have to find out the value of x which satisfies this relation. Okay. So you are going to find out for what value of x this angle cos inverse of 3x minus 1, that angle lies between pi by 2 to pi. Okay. So if you take a cos on throughout, we have cos pi by 2 less than 3x minus 1 less than cos pi. The value of cos 90 is 0 and the value of cos 180, that is cos pi, is minus 1. So 0 less than 3x minus 1 less than minus 1. But this is not true because 0 and here minus 1. Minus 1 does not be greater than 0 and 0 is not less than minus 1. So there won't be any value which lies above 0 and below minus 1. So this is not true. Moreover, for angles below in the second quadrant, that is pi by 2 to pi, the cos inverse x, for cos inverse of x is equal to y, where y belongs to the second quadrant pi by 2 to pi, the cos value will be ranges from minus 1 to 0. Therefore, it should be like this. You have to take this as minus 1 less than 3x minus 1 less than 0. Okay. So for the angles in the second quadrant, that is pi by 2 to pi, cos value will be, the value angles will be from minus 1 to 0. That means that the least value, the minimum is minus 1, the maximum is 0. So it should be like this, minus 1 less than 3x minus 1 less than 0. Therefore, adding 1 throughout, it would be 0 less than 3x is less than 1. And then dividing by 3, we have 0 less than x less than 1 by 3. So in order to get this condition, x should lies between 0 to 1 by 3. That is, x belongs to the open interval 0, 1 by 3. Now coming to the 8th sum. Find the value of, first subdivision is cos inverse of 4 by 5 plus sin inverse of 4 by 5. Second one is cos inverse of cos 4 pi by 3 plus cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 4. Okay. Now let us do the first one. Given the problem is cos inverse of 4 by 5. But we don't know the exact angle for the value 4 by 5. Okay. So if it is either root 3 by 2 or 1 by 2 or 1 by root 2, 1, 0, we can write down the known angle. But it is given as 4 by 5. So instead of finding out the exact angle, let us do this problem in a different way, right? So let us, as usual, let us take this cos inverse of 4 by 5 be some y. Now, by definition, it will be cos y is equal to 4 by 5, okay? Instead of finding out the angle whose value is 4 by 5, you are going to find out what would be the corresponding sine value, sine y, right? So, if in a right angle triangle, if this angle is y, cos y is 4 by 5 means adjacent side is 4, hypotenuse is 5. So, what would be the opposite side by Pythagorean triple? It would be 3. So, opposite side will be 3. So, that sine y is equal to opposite by hypotenuse, that is 3 by 5, right? Now, coming to the second part, sine inverse of 4 by 5, let it take us to be some z. So, that sine z will be equal to 4 by 5. In this case also, instead of finding out z whose sine value is 4 by 5, because that would not be a known angle 30 degree, 60 degree, etc. So instead of that, let us find the corresponding cos z value. So again, by drawing a right angle triangle and marking this angle to be z, sine z is 4 by 5 means opposite by hypotenuse. So this is 4 and this is 5. Again, by the Pythagorean triple, 3, 4, 5 is the Pythagorean triple. So 4, 5 means automatically the adjacent side will be becomes 3. So what would be cos z? Cos z is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse, so 3 by 5, right? Now why we are finding out means, if you replace cos inverse of 4 by 5 and sin inverse of 4 by 5 by y and z, you will have cos of y plus z. So what is cos of a plus b? Cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. So cos of y plus z is equal to cos y cos z minus sin y sin z. So that instead of finding out the angle y and z, you can do like this. So substitute the values of cos y and cos z, sin y and sin z here. So what is cos y? 4 by y. And sin z is 4, 3, cos z is 3 by 5. So 4 by 5 into 3 by 5 minus, what is sin y? Sin y is 3 by 5 and sin z is 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 into 3 by 5 minus 3 by 5 into 4 by 5, that is they get cancelled. So what would be the value? That angle is 0, right? So instead of finding out the corresponding angles, we are doing it using the compound angle formula. Then second subdivision, cos inverse of cos 4 pi by 3 plus cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 4. So let us find its value separately and the second term, the value of the second term separately, and let us add, sum up, okay. So first term is cos inverse of cos 4 pi by 3. Now look at this angle 4 pi by 3. What is 4 pi by 3? 4 into 180 by 3, that is 4 into 60, 240. So 240 is an angle which lies in the third quadrant, but you have to choose the angle which lies in the first quadrant as well as in the second quadrant. So let us rewrite this as an angle in the second quadrant so that their cosine value would be same, right? So 240 can be split up as 180 plus 60, that is pi plus 60. 60 is pi by 3. So pi plus pi by 3. Now this is an angle in the third quadrant. So you have to find out a corresponding angle in either in the second or first so that the cosine value would be equal. But you know that cos of pi plus x and cos of pi minus x are equal. So we can write this as cos of 4 pi by 3, that is cos of pi plus 60 can be, cos of 180 plus 60 can be also equal to cos of 180 minus 60. So this 4 pi by 3 is expressed as cos of pi plus pi by 3, which is also equal to cos of pi minus pi by 3, because the corresponding cosine values are equal. This angle is in the third quadrant, but you should not need this. But this should not be occurred because this doesn't belong to the closed interval 0 to pi. So we are rewriting this as pi minus pi by 3. But this pi minus pi by 3 lies in the second quadrant, that is in the required domain 0 to pi. Okay, therefore, rewriting this angle 4 pi by 3 as pi minus pi by 3, that is 2 pi by 3. Apply the formula cos inverse of cos x is equal to x. We get cos inverse of cos 2 pi by 3 is equal to 2 pi by 3. Now, second term is cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 4. Again, you know that 5 pi by 4 means it doesn't lies in the first or the second quadrant, as 5 pi by 4 is equal to 5 into 180 by 4, that is 5 into 45, that is 225. 225 means it lies in the third quadrant. So how can we write with the help of, we can split with the help of pi, that is 180. So 225 can be split as 180 plus 45. That is pi plus pi by 4. In radians, it is pi plus pi by 4. So it lies in the third quadrant. So you have to write it at an angle which lies in the second quadrant, whose cosine values are equal. So you know that cos of pi plus x and cos of pi minus x are equal. So this will be equal to, by rewriting this, splitting this as cos of pi plus pi by 4, this will be equal to cos of pi minus pi by 4. Okay. So now pi minus pi by 4 means that nothing but 3 pi by 4. So cos 5 pi by 4 and cos 3 pi by 4 are equal. And then why we are rewriting this? Because 3 pi by 4 lies in the required or restricted domain 0 to pi. So cos inverse of cos 3 pi by 4 is equal to 3 pi by 4. Therefore, cos inverse of cos 4 pi by 3 plus cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 4 is equal to, its value is 2 pi by 3 and its value is 3 pi by 4. So summing up by taking LCM, multiplying it by 4, 8 pi, and multiplying it by 3, 9 pi. So 8 pi plus 9 pi is 17 pi by 12. So this is the answer for this problem. But in your book, the answer is given as minus 7 pi by 12. That is wrong. So the correct answer is 17 pi by 12.